Love it. All right, guys. Well, let's take a look at our social contract. We are a team. We respect each other. We listen. We put in max effort. We celebrate the things and we show kindness. Guys, how do you think we do with that in our social contract? How do you think we're doing? Karen May?
100.
100. I love it. I agree. Well, you guys know that we can always revisit it. We can always take a look at it if you guys ever think that we need to add something or just focus on one part of it, okay? Always open to that. So let's take a look today at our learning intention. We are learning to understand the difference between observations and inferences and apply them in science investigations, okay? Our success criteria, we will know we are successful when we can tell the difference between an observation, and observations are what I see, hear, smell, feel, or can measure. And an inference is what I think or conclude based on evidence. And we can give at least one example of an observation and one example of an inference from a science scenario or picture. Okay, so that is our plan for today. And the first thing we're going to do is get started with a video, okay? So this is a very short video. It's very informative though, so I need you guys to make sure that you are paying super close attention to it for me. Is that a deal? All right. Now, if you get to a point where you can't hear it or you can't see it, please let me know that, okay? All right. Let me share this one. Here we go.
When you observe in science, you use your 5 senses to notice what's occurring. You could be watching and listening to a squirrel dig for its cached food, feeling the bottom of a test tube to see if it's warm or cold, or getting a whiff of the embalming fluid before a dissection. But sometimes we think we're making an observation when we're actually making an inference. You have life experiences and background knowledge that helps you to make sense of the world around you. Sometimes you make assumptions or hypothesize, but it's important that you can support your inferences with your observations. Let's look at a scenario where we can make observations and inferences. Look at this picture. There are definitely visual observations that we can make. This looks like a tire and it's flat. There also appears to be rust and sand beneath the tire.
So if we're looking at this picture, can we prove those things with our senses? Can we prove those? Eva?
I'm sorry for being late, too.
Hey, honey, no worries.
It just popped up out of nowhere. Thank goodness I got on in time.
Yeah, I'm sorry it did that to you, honey.
I would have gone. I don't know why it takes a while for it to load. Anyway, it's also raggy or kind of used.
Very good. Okay, good. All right, Blaine.
And it's old.
It is. Well, we can't prove that yet, so let's take a look at that, okay? Blaine?
You can tell since other rooms are rusty that there's like a hole towards the outer side of the rim, and it's sinking into the sand.
Very good. Okay, so our observations, so remember, observations are we can see it, we can hear it, we can prove it, right? So if we're looking at this picture, we can prove those things, just like you guys said, right? We can see the tire has rust, or the rim has rust on it. We can see that. We can see that the tire is flat. There's no arguing these things, right? So observations are things that I can look at and you can look at, and we're going to see the same thing. And we can't argue about it, right? I mean, we could, but we wouldn't, right? We can see that there's sand here. We can see there's rust. We can see all of those things. Those are observations, okay? But let's take a look at inferences. And this is where we sometimes get confused, because all of us look at this and we all make the observation maybe that this is an old truck or old vehicle, right? Well, that's not really an observation. That's an inference, right? Because I can't prove that this is old. Maybe it's a brand new truck and they just did this on purpose to make it look like art. You know, some people do things like that, right? But our background knowledge tells us that is an old rusty truck, right? So let's take a look at inferences. And we'll
Those all fall under the category of observations. Now I'll state some inferences that I've made about this picture. Based on the sand, I think this might be in the desert, which makes me also think that it's very hot there. I think it's part of a very old truck because of the way the wheel well looks. And I'd also infer that the tire is not fixable because of the white threads that I can see on the edge of the tire. Those are all inferences. When you make inferences, be sure that your observations can back up your inferences. If new observations come in that don't fit your previous inference, it's time to revise your ideas. Thanks for watching this episode of Teacher's Pet. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And
all right, so that was short and easy, right? Easy peasy. Now we're going to do some practice with observations or inferences on which one is it. You guys should be able to see the one that says which is it. Everybody see that? Give me a head time. Here we go. All right, if you guys can't hear anything, please let me know.
Observations and inferences. Observations and inferences are two very different things. Observations are based on things that we can see, taste, touch, feel, or sense in some other way.
All right, so an observation, guys, is it using clues to take a guess, or is it using your 5 senses? Okay, Eva?
It's using your 5 senses.
Very good, yes. So using your 5 senses, that is an observation. Okay.
Since observations are something that we can sense, two people would always agree on what they observe. For instance, we know that this child is wearing a yellow hat.
Okay. So which of these is an observation, guys? We're looking for observations, things that we can prove. Blaine, which one?
That he is wearing a green jacket.
Yes, absolutely. We can all agree that we can all see that he is wearing a green jacket. So if we take a look at the other 2 options, we are going to know that these are inferences, okay? We see a little boy here playing in a mud puddle, right? But what we know is that usually when we see little boys playing near a mud puddle or little kids playing near a mud puddle, they typically like to jump in the puddle, right? Yeah, I mean, I do, and I'm not even a kid. So that is an inference from background knowledge. We can see that, okay? Another inference, guys, is it was raining outside. I can't prove that it's raining outside just by using this image, right? Because maybe that is something that this kiddo's parents made for him, so he always has a mud puddle. But our background knowledge tells us it was probably raining, and that is why there's a mud puddle there, right? And that is why that is an inference. The only one that we can prove, and all of us agree on, is that the child's wearing that yellow hat and that child is wearing a green jacket. Okay?
We also know that this cactus has needles. Inferences take more thought. We get clues from observations to decide what we think might be happening.
Okay, so what is an inference? Using observations to make a guess or stating what you see, hear, smell, taste, and or touch. Eggy.
Using your observations to make a guess.
Very good. That is an inference. Using those observations to make an educated guess. Yes, using your observations, your background knowledge Yes, yes, yes. Very good, you guys.
Two people might make a different inference about the same observation.
Okay. So can two people have different inferences? Blaine?
Yes.
Absolutely can, okay? Because I could say, you could say the child likes yellow hats, but I could say that child is being forced to wear a yellow hat because his mom's favorite color is yellow. Right? Has your mom ever made you wear something that you really didn't want to, but you had to because she made you? Right? Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. So yes, two people can absolutely have different inferences. And more than likely, you will.
One person might think that this child likes yellow hats. Another person might think that this child was forced to wear the yellow hat. Both of these opinions are inferences. We have no way to know if the child liked the hat or if the child was forced to wear the hat. As you can see, these two ideas are very different, yet they can both come from the same picture, and they can both be based on the same observation. Inferences use observations to make informed guesses. Now you're going to try it. I'm going to show you a picture and make a statement about the picture. I want you to decide if this is an observation or if it's an inference. The mouse likes peanuts. Is this statement an observation? Or is it an inference? You'll see on the next slide.
All right. Is it an observation or an inference? All right, Eva.
Well, an observation is using your senses. But here's the thing. We don't know if the mouse likes peanuts or not. So it's an inference.
That is absolutely correct. Blaine, is that what you were going to say, or you have a different opinion? Yeah. Okay, absolutely. The mouse likes peanuts, just like she said. That is an inference. I cannot prove that that mouse likes peanuts. Maybe that's the only thing he had around him that he could eat. Very good.
We have no way of knowing whether this mouse likes peanuts or not. We can only observe that there are peanuts in the picture. This is an inference. The guinea pig is eating a tomato. Is this statement an observation? Or is it an inference?
All right, what do you guys think? The guinea pig is eating a tomato. That is definitely a tomato there. Lenora?
I think it's an observation because you can't. He's just eating a tomato because he has his mouth on it.
Right. We can definitely see that this one observation is absolutely the guinea pig is eating that tomato. That is absolutely an observation. Good job, y'all.
If you thought of the word observation, you are correct. This is an observation because we can see the guinea pig eating the tomato. We used our senses. We used the sense of sight to figure this out. There are clouds in the sky. Which word do you hear in your head for this one? Do you think this is an observation? Or do you think it's an inference?
Kara May?
I think it's an observation.
It is. Kara May, was that you?
Yes.
Okay, just making sure. It kind of cut out on me for a minute. Yes, it is absolutely an observation. There are clouds in the sky. Can we see that there are clouds in the sky in this? We sure can. Absolutely. Great job, you guys. You guys are doing so good with this.
This is an observation. We can see that there are clouds in the sky. Let's try another statement about this same picture. It is going to rain soon. Is that an observation or an inference?
All right, guys, what is it? What do we think? Brendan, you haven't had a chance to answer yet. Brendan?
Well, kind of observation because like the clouds are dark, or is that just the picture?
Nope, the clouds are dark. So, but can we prove that it's going to rain? Or using background knowledge? It is, yes. Very good, Brendan. It is an inference because we see, like he said, those clouds are kind of dark, right? So typically when the clouds are dark, it's probably going to rain soon. But sometimes they're dark and then it doesn't rain. So we can't prove it. If we can't prove it just by seeing it, hearing it, smelling it, touching it, tasting it, whatever, we have to go with our inference. So yes, Brendan, you're absolutely right. It is an inference.
Hopefully on this one you heard that it's an inference when I asked that question. We don't know if it's going to rain soon or not. All we know is that there are clouds in the sky. This food smells bad. What do you think this one is, an observation or an inference? Be careful, this one can be tricky.
It can be tricky. What do you think on this one? This food smells bad. What do you guys think? We're going to go with majority rules on this one. All right, Eva?
I think it's an observation.
Think it's an observation, okay?
Because the food is molding, so wouldn't it smell bad?
Right, I love it. All right. So we have 1 for
Plus,
observation.
an inferior plus observation is using your 5 senses, and one of them is smell.
Very good, honey. All right, let's see. Blaine, do you agree or are you going to change? You're going to say something else?
She's right.
She's right. All right. Lenora, do you agree?
I think it's an inference because you can't tell that it smells bad. It just looks moldy.
So it would be an inference. So let's see. Let's go with I'm just gonna pick observation because we have 2 observations and 1 inference. Okay, so I'm just gonna go with that and let's see who's right. Look, Lenora, you did. Okay, so the reason I did it that way, y'all, because if you give me a picture of something, I cannot smell that picture, right? Right? I can't smell that picture, y'all. But if the fruit was actually right here in front of me, I could smell it. Okay? And that would be an observation. But because I'm looking at a picture, I cannot smell it, even if it smells. And that's why I wanted you guys to see this one and work with this one. Okay, there's that critical thinking coming out. So good job. Guys, if you said observation, do not think that you were wrong. It is simply, this is a practice, and I wanted you guys to say that so that we could see why it isn't. Does that make sense, you guys? Sorry, I had to pick on you a little. Yeah, but you see why we did that, right? So let's keep.
This one definitely was tricky. It's an inference. It's an inference because we can't actually smell this food. If I had real food in front of me, we might have a different answer. The car is rusty. Would that be an observation? Or is it an inference?
All right, Karamay.
I think it's an observation.
Observation. All right. You say that the car's rusty. Okay. Eva. Same. Okay. So we're gonna go with observation. You guys are correct, guys. We can see here that it is rusty.
Which is the best answer? Well, this car is definitely rusty. I can see that in the picture. That makes this an observation. To review, observations are anything that you can see, taste, touch, hear, smell, or sense. Two people will always agree on an observation because they're getting the same information.
All right, so an observation, this is going to be sort of your success criteria, learning intention coming into play, and an exit ticket to review your learning. An observation, guys, is that making a guess or using your 5 senses? Blaine.
Using your 5 senses.
You got it. Using your 5 senses, yes. All right, can 2 people have the same observations? Yes or no? Can you have the same observation, Carabay?
Yes, you can.
You absolutely can. And I see you guys putting this in the chat. You guys are doing a great job. I'm so proud of you guys. You can definitely tell there's some learning. 2 people can absolutely have the same observation.
Inferences take more thought. They are ideas about our world that we get because of our observations.
All right. What are inferences? Are they using our 5 senses or a guess about something based on observations? Blaine, since you weren't able to answer the last time, I want you to go ahead and answer this one.
It's a guess about about something based on our observations.
Very, very good. You're absolutely correct. So inferences are a guess about something based on our observations. Absolutely. And I see in the chat, very good. Good, good. Okay. All right, guys, we're going to stop sharing this one for a minute. So that is absolutely correct. You guys did an amazing job, and I hope that you had a minute to feel that way and understand that you guys are really, really doing the best job. Let's go ahead. Let's do a rating. We're running a little behind, so we won't have time for our reflection. I feel like we kind of reflected through the lesson, though. Looking back at our success criteria, though, I want you to go ahead and rate yourself 1 to 5 on how you feel you have done with this lesson. After you rate yourself 1 to 5, you are dismissed and free to go. Love you guys. I hope you have the best day ever. Thank you for working hard today. You did a great, great job. That is so wonderful. Love you all. See you next time.